Welcome back to 40 Auto Works. My name is Jeremy. My friends call me Styles. This is my channel about me trying to make things work with old cars, do what I can, and customize and repair, and all with as little money as possible. If you've been following along my channel, I thank you very much. If you haven't, well, I guess you'll have to go back and see what we've been doing. We've basically been trying to put a 5.3 in an old Skylark, which has been fighting me a lot along the way. I have also picked up an old Hudson about a month or so ago, which we're trying to do some work to as well. All the stuff that you see in front of me and around me is, if you can see it, it's motor and transmission stuff right out of a Silverado. Anyway, all that's going to find its way into Hudson at some point. So this video today is more or less just an update because I have not been able to get out here with family life and stuff. Things are just busy. Work full-time too as well, so we've 4 kids. I'm busy, my wife's busy, I just don't always get out here. So, as I said, today is a video about updates. First thing is, we got a new plate for the truck. We don't really want anybody to think anything is too nice around here, you know. I mean, it might disappear on us, so I think it works. The other side of the coin is, the radio's dying in the truck, so we're going to do something there. I got some CD players and stuff over there. I'll show you that in a few minutes. I got to try and decide what we're going to do. I think we'll just go pull a harness from Canadian Tire or something like that, one of those kits, wiring kits and harness kits, and put that in. I got a couple CD players. Which brings to mind another thing I should show you. Another development that has happened is we had our 70-mile yard sale here last couple weeks ago, and I picked up a set of 55 Chevy Bel Air center caps, or dog dishes, whatever you call them, power day caps, I guess. Really like those. Always like that look with the steel brim and the little smaller hubcap in the center. So got them cheap, but like everything else around here, I get it dirt friggin' cheap, or I don't have it. Not in the best shape, as you can see. Some dents and stuff in them, but they're going to be fine. So it's got a little bit of a warp in the middle of it there. However, plan for the Hudson is not going to be anything, you know, I'm not looking for anything showstopper. She's going to be old and grungy and enamel paint. So I do have 2 of these Chevy steel wheels, 15-inch wheels. I need to find 2 more, and they're 5 by 4 3/4. If anybody has a set they want to get rid of, I need 2 at least. Hopefully we can get those wheels painted up, and that's what she should look like. I'm thinking it's going to look pretty sharp in the old car. A friend of mine also has some bumpers off a 49 Dodge I might try and pick up. And yeah, that's only. So as I said, I have a couple of choices for CD players for the old truck. Old Pioneer there, and Clarion, and a Sony. Probably end up with the Sony. Not that that's a major issue. I've had that in a few rigs and it works pretty good. But it got me thinking, what am I going to put in these old rigs here over here, like the Hudson 32, which you can't see, which is behind that pile of stuff, and the Buick. Well, Buick is going to stay somewhat old school, I think, other than the 5.3. So I have a couple old cassette decks here, an Audiovox, Sherwood. I'm not sure what that fella is, but he does work. So I think we're going to go with that for old school. And one of these old power equalizers. These are actually what we used to call a booster back in the day. It's about 100 watts, 4-channel. I had one of them in an old car I bombed around with in college, an old Chevette. Had a couple of subs hooked up to it. It sounded pretty good. And the reason we want to go with these is because I still have all my old cassettes. I'm getting tired of replacing things on new formats, CDs, iPods, all that kind of stuff. I'm done. So anyway, the Buick is going to get the old cassette deck. Everything has been moved down here to the pit, down through the field. As you can see, the field is finally cleaned up somewhat. Some grass and stuff, hiding some debris and stuff. At least all the cars are out of the way, which is nice. Dave and I have pushed the Buick down here for now to the pit where everything else is. We can still work on it down here. The only thing I didn't get the manifolds bolts removed like I had wanted to. Anyway, she's down here along with the old green Ford and the Imperial. we can still continue to do some stuff. The LS is still in at the 5.3. I got to tighten up the motor mount bolts. And I'm going to pull starter and alternator off this old white van here, off the old candy van. Since the fuel pump went there, we pushed her up on the pad here. She's immobilized now, so not much I can do about it. I'm not going to spend $800 to put a pump on her to move it back and forth to shop 3 times a year. Oh, chickens are out. There's Jimmy. I don't know if you can see him. Anyway, that's got to happen. I get distracted easily. I'm sorry, I'm simple that way. So yes, starter and alternator's coming off this. And I'm thinking I might also take that steering column. I know we took the one out of the Silverado. The ignition switch is not fantastic in it, so we might take it and possibly that cluster as well. I mean, I have it, I might as well use it. I don't know if you can see it. My camera work is poor, I apologize. However, there's also little headlight switches and stuff. I hadn't planned to strip this, but I think I might. As you can see, it's a catch-all for parts. There's a couple 250s and a 3-liter back there and a 318. You can't see them. So that might happen. I might as well use the parts. Nope, chickens are checking things out. What are you doing, girls? Huh? Here. I don't know if they like it down here. I'm invading their space. They come down here quite a bit. All these cars and stuff. I know the chickens have nothing to do with the cars, but they're part of life here. Oh, here comes Jimmy, boss man. Anyway, they're here. Now, you remember that old black Ford? I said it wasn't going to sell. Yeah. Well, she's gone. Not too far. Dave needed a truck, so, you know, him and I done some horse trading, and the old black Ford, she's gone for now. However, part of the deal is that we get first crack at it if he decides to let it go again. Now, he traded me for an 04 Ram. It's not here yet. It will be. Again, things just don't go according to plan. It should have been here by now. I hoped to have it on the video, but it's not here. Anyway, it's a 4-door quad cab, 4-wheel drive with a Hemi. Runs good, but needs fuel pump. Everything needs something. Now the plan is to use it as a donut. Do we try and set this old green fella on there, or do we put the Imperial on there? The old Ford is a long box step side, about a 75, I believe. And it's pretty rotten, you know, down around the floor area. But it's a beautiful old truck. It's in rough shape. I've owned it once before. I was able to get it back here last year. I think you saw that video. I'll try and show you the inside of the floors here, so hope you can see something. They're toast. You know, there's not much fixing that. So rockers are gone as well on both sides. It's a cool old truck. I got a soft spot for it. It's already got a cassette deck in her. MEI. I remember those back in the day when you were too cheap to buy a Alpine. Anyway, my thought is cut the floor and the frame, the firewall out, graft the cab onto the Dodge cab. Now, one of the big things is the difference in the wheelbase. This old Ford is about 7 inches shorter on the wheelbase than the Dodge. I can't remember the exact measurements, but so do I shorten the frame Or, yeah, it's another problem. The fenders are all messed up there. Do we shorten the frame or do we lengthen the box? Cool thing about this truck to me is the long box step side. They were quite rare. 8-foot step side box. Sorry, I can't get very good angles down here. Things are tight. I gotta get more stuff down here. Anyway, if anybody wants to chime in on that with any ideas, that would be great. I don't want to shorten the box. I don't mind shortening the frame. But should I add to the box? And the other possibility is put it underneath the Imperial. Now, there's only 5 inches of the wheelbase difference there, but that can be made up by manipulating the fender arches. At least she'd have a Hemi like she should have. Can't really decide. I think it might be better off under the Imperial. I had to do something with it sooner. Anyway, that's it. It's not terribly exciting. I've not been able to get anything done, but you know, I need to post something. As I said, there's been a lot of figuring and planning and stuff, and trying to collect some parts here and there for things. So, yeah, hopefully that van will be here in a few more days. Maybe I'll make some kind of video on that. We'll go through that. We're going to go at the Hudson fairly soon because it's in there. I am going to still try to put the motor or the alternator and starter on this, maybe get it wired up and get some stuff done. I still have probably a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, maybe 2, most likely only 1 month of outside working on stuff here before the snow flies, and I'll get as much done as I can, at least get the motor locked down and stuff and tightened up for the winter hits us. And Hudson's inside so we can start her anytime. I just didn't want the Buick up in the driveway for the winter, and there's no room for it in right now. So. But, as everybody knows, I jump around from project to project. Who knows? There might be something else to drag home that'll grab my attention now for a couple weeks or more. I hope not. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Again, I apologize for not much on this video. Please like and subscribe. And hopefully the next one will have more content, whether I'm working on the Buick or the Hudson or changing the radio or something. Thanks. Say goodbye, girls. Somebody? Say goodbye. Anybody? Nope. Come on. Jimmy? No. All right. Bye, everybody.